Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Welcome to Thryss in Stitches. My name is Thryss. If you are a returning, what I call stitchy, we are in the fiber world. We crochet, we knit, we dye yarn, and have lots of fun with all of that stuff. I'm working on a crochet project right now. If you are a new subscriber, welcome. If you are coming to this video from different parts of the YouTube streets, then welcome in. So, you guys saw the title. I already know what I'm naming it, and I'm quite tickled with myself. I think it's funny. You're going to learn why I'm titling the video what it is. So, to get started, happy Albino Awareness Day. It is June 13th, and June 13th is Albino Awareness. This is my first albino awareness since joining the YouTube streets. So I wanted to do something special. I want you guys to get a project and kick back, work on it. If you're not crocheting or knitting or dyeing yarn or doing some other sort of craft, clean your house, cook dinner, whatever you're doing, tell me what you're doing. But let's just kick back and chill. And I'm going to share some story times with you. So I had originally thought to do this on my members only channel, which is where I share some more personal stuff. I'm in a journey right now of being more vulnerable and sharing of myself, because it's not something even in my personal life that I do very well. I keep everything pretty packed in, if you will. But I was sharing this idea to several people, and I unanimously, just like, is this a good idea? Will people be interested? Like, is this sharing too much? Is this a little weird? And you'll know why I'm saying that as the video progresses. And unanimously across the board, the feedback was, you not only should definitely share this, you need to share this publicly. Don't keep this just to your members. You need to put this on a bigger platform where more people can come across it, because there's some really important messages in here and some awareness that a lot of people don't have. And I agree with that, though it is really hard to put myself out there the way that I'm about to. And I was trying to think, what am I going to do for Albinism Awareness Day? And I could share little factoids and statistics and everything like that, but it would take about 2 minutes, and that's it. Sorry, I had to pause you guys. So it wouldn't really fill up that much time. So I'll give you those right now. So I am albino. And there are many different, there's a few different kinds of albinism. And for my kind of albinism, I have really pale skin. Albinism, by definition, is a complete or almost complete lack of melanin. And melanin is what gives your skin and hair and iris in your eye its coloration. Well, I don't have any. So I have very pale skin. I have very pale hair. I know it doesn't look like I have hair. I'm going through chemo right now, so I don't have a lot of hair. I have some stubborn hair trying to grow back. But my hair is the color of my brows and my lashes that you see right here. And I have Smurf hands. I dye yarn, so I've been in the kitchen dyeing yarn all day. And unanimously across the board, albinism has bad vision. So I have worse vision than normal because of a situation that happened when I was a teenager, and I lost all the vision in my left eye, and I lost most of the vision in my right eye. But that is not the norm. I know some albino people who are able to drive. They have to drive with restrictions, but they can drive. They are legally blind, but with correction, they are able to drive. So maybe in a different life that could have been me, but alas, it is not. So, and I have a very severe nystagmus or astigmatism. I'm going to come close to the camera where you can see two things. So one, you can see how my eyes are shaking, and this is going to lead into the stereotypes. So one stereotype that is out there is that albinos always have red eyes. That is not true. You can see right now that my eyes are not red. The red color comes from an overexposure to light. And so that can be too much sunlight, that can be too much fluorescent light, that can be a photograph being taken with a flash. And what is happening is there is not enough pigmentation in the iris of my eye. So when that big amount of light is coming in, you're actually seeing the blood vessels and stuff behind the iris. So it gives it a red hint, a red hue. That's what's coming through. Let me see. Oh, I am very sensitive to the sun. I'm very sensitive to light. I get sunburnt easily. I have a 300% increased chance of getting skin cancer than somebody who does not have albinism. So I have to be extremely, extremely careful with my exposure to the sun. So that's about it. There really isn't much in the way of facts and statistics that I can give you. You know, that's about all. But let's get into the other stuff. So there's more stereotypes than just the red eyes. There is also that I have special powers, that I am demonic, and I'm not kidding. These are actually real things that I hear all the time. All of the time, my whole life. And Hollywood has done absolutely nothing to dissuade that way of thinking, unfortunately. They've really leaned into it and really helped it become a big, big thing. So, Powder being one of those movies, I saw it a really long time ago. I don't really remember it super well, but there was a scene where he was touching a deer that had been hurt by humans, and he touched the humans and made them feel the pain. I cannot do that. I cannot invoke lightning from the sky. I do not talk to Satan. I was not sent here by him. Like, I know that sounds kind of funny. It sounds kind of preposterous and silly, but it really is a thing. And when it's been steeped in this much of history for this long, I can understand why people think the way that they do. Which is why I'm hoping this will help dissuade some of that. I know most of my subscribers know better, but I'm hoping, as scary as it is, I'm hoping this will reach more people than just my subscribers. So, in a lot of cultures to this day, I'm going to put this as delicately as I can, so forgive me, but in some cultures to this day, albinos are sought out because the thought is that we can heal people of ailments, and they can take on our supernatural powers. And the way that is done is through consumption of us. And I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to get into gory detail about it. But it's barbaric and it's horrible, and the albino is kept alive as long as possible. And so they endure a lot, and this is something that's happening right now. I'm not going to throw out any countries or any cultures because I don't want to spread hate. I don't want anything like that, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who still thinks that way. Historically, since, the beginning of the first albinos that have come to be, they were considered an abomination, and were not left to tread the earth for long. So things are definitely improved. And through history, things have definitely improved, things have changed, but even just 100 years ago, you would have albinos in circuses and in quote-unquote freak shows and sideshows and things like that, and we were always made out to be we were always just made out to not be in the most positive light. Let me just put it that way. And Hollywood has continued that narrative. They have continued to make it seem like we are in communication with the devil, or we are, products of relationships that shouldn't be, that we're sociopathic serial killers and have special powers, and I don't know. Anyway, whatever. Okay, I'm not going to keep going on. So basically, that's where we are. This is a setup for the story times, so that these story times will make sense. Because if I just were to go and tell these story times, you would probably be like, well, where did that come from? Why? Why would somebody think that? Well, this is why. So from an early age, there was always this uneasiness with people, including the parents of kids. It wasn't just kids being cruel, it was the parents. And it was out of ignorance. It was out of not knowing any different, because there wasn't any awareness out there, education out there about albinism. Thinking I had some sort of disease that they could get, and so people won't, and this still happens now, people won't shake my hand, and don't want any physical contact with me, don't want to be near me, because they're afraid of that they could catch it, or that maybe the movies have it right and I do have some sort of special power and I could hurt them or something. So I grew up having parents, keep their kids away from me. It still happens to this day. Not as much anymore, because there's a lot more education out there about it. But people will shuttle their kids away from me, thinking that I could hurt them or something. And never. But as a young adult, there was an experience. I was in a furniture store, and we had our income tax return, and we were going to buy a bunch of stuff. I mean, everything. We were going to buy a vacuum, we were going to buy living room furniture, bedroom furniture, washer and dryer. I mean, we were furnishing everything, because we didn't have anything. We were just getting started out and everything, and so we were just going to go spend the whole thing. And I'm in the store, and I'm looking around, and I think I'm in lamps or something, and I'm looking around, and I just hear somebody scream, blood-curdling scream, over to the left of me, and I whip around and I look, and it's a woman standing there doing the hex cross, thing with her fingers at me. And I look at her, and when I look at her, she just screams again, and she backs up several steps and says, "Spawn, don't look at me," and things like that, and just is absolutely hysterical. And her family's trying to calm her down and ask her, what is going on, what is happening. And she said, it's here to get us, it's going to get us. And like, what are you talking about? And, you know, she points at me, and I'm like, oh gosh, here we go. So I don't want to upset this poor lady. I feel so bad for her. I'm embarrassed more than anything. I'm just humiliated to no end. And so I leave the aisle and I walk away. I don't say anything to her, because by this point in my life, there's like no point. And she was very clearly upset. And honestly, as upset as she was, had I tried to take a few steps forward and been consoling, it would have scared the pea hockey out of her. So my best thing has always been to just walk away. And so I go about my business. Her family calms her down, I guess, because I don't hear her anymore. I'm completely humiliated. I'm fighting back tears. And I don't let that stuff get to me anymore, but I was younger at this point, and it still, you know, was kind of raw for me. And so we just keep looking. Well, a little while later, 15 minutes later, probably, we meet on another aisle again. And she goes off again, and her family is looking at me because they still don't understand what's going on. And so she's just, you know, please don't drag me to hell, please don't take me, and you know, it's going to get us, it's going to curse us, and all that. Yeah, referring to me as it. And that was like so dehumanizing and so upsetting. And so her family looks at me because they realize, okay, it has something to do with me. She's pointed me out again. They're like, I don't know what's going on, I'm so sorry. And I said, it's because I'm albino. And she said, it actually speaks the truth. And so they're like, I don't understand. What do you mean? Like, what does that have anything to do with anything? What is albino? And so I don't explain what albinism is. And I just start to tell them, you know, there's stereotypes out there about my genetic condition. I'm clearly scaring her. I'm not trying to scare her. I'm just going to walk away, you know. And I do try to tell her, ma'am, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm not here to scare you or anything like that. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm not, you know, evil or mean or doing anything or anything like that. Well, there's no saying anything to her. It lies. It lies. So I'm walking away, and the store manager, this is what upset me. It wasn't that lady. I mean, that lady hurt my feelings, and embarrassed me. But I really do have compassion, and I understand when you are brought up a certain way your whole life, and you have not had anything to dispel what you have been taught. If you are taught that a banana is poison your whole life, are you going to go eat a banana? No. Banana's poison. She was taught her whole life that I was a certain way. Why would she think any different? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 30. Okay, sorry, had to count stitches. So yeah, anyway. So the store manager comes over and he said, ma'am, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. You're upsetting my customers. And it did not click to me at that very moment. And no, it's okay, it's okay. And he said, no, it's not okay. You're going to have to leave. You're upsetting my customers. I'm like, wait, are you talking to me? And he's like, yes, ma'am. I'm like, wait, I have to leave? And he said, yes, ma'am, you're upsetting my customers. And I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, sir, I'm shopping. And even the lady's family was like, sir, she has done nothing. I don't know what's going on with my grandmother. But this lady has done nothing. She's even walked away. Like, we'll just take my grandmother and go. And you shouldn't have to leave. And I'm just like, I shouldn't have to leave. So I left and I said, that's fine. I'll leave. I'll go and I'll take my money with me. I wish I wouldn't have said that now, but I'm like, I'll take my money with me. I'll take my business elsewhere. I'm like, fine, I'll go and I'll take my money with me and I'll go. I'm like, just so you know, I'm spending my entire tax return. So I guess I'll just give it to somebody else. And that's exactly what I did. I left and I spent it somewhere else. I gave my money somewhere else. I understood the lady's reaction. I understood it. It wasn't right. I'm not excusing it, but I understood it. There's a reason for it. There was no reason for his. And especially when her family was sitting here telling him, but whatever. So that is probably the most profound experience that I've had, simply based off my albinism. And that has happened other times in less traumatizing ways. I've been out with my kids, and there was a lady that approached me at the grocery store. I was in the parking lot, and she said that she was going to exorcise me, like get the demons out of me. And I said, ma'am, I'm a Christian, I'm saved. And she said, you can't be. And I said, well, I am. Why can't I be? And she said, well, you were sent here from him. And so I'm thinking, oh gosh, this poor lady, like, I wonder if I can help her or something like that. And it really genuinely did not click to me what she was talking about. I just thought maybe she was, not well. And I'm like, who sent me? And I don't remember how she put it, but basically, alluded to what we're all here to hear about. And I don't remember what she said, and I don't want to fill it in. Oh, it's getting real dark in here. We've got storms. I love it. Okay, got a little bit of light on in here. And so she, said something to the effect of, well, she said something along the lines. I don't remember word for word what she said. And so I'm like, oh gosh, here we go. And I'm like, ma'am, I'm not going to entertain this. I'm just not. I'm a Christian. I'm saved. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're out here doing the Lord's work, but, find somebody else, and I hope you have a great day. And I'm with my kids. And she follows behind, and she grabs my arm, and she, goes to pull me, and she, I guess, forgets herself and whips her hand back and from having touched me. And it was just a whole scene, and it was so embarrassing. And my daughter, the mouthy, lovely child that she is, told that lady off not to talk to her, not to talk about her mama like that, not to touch her mama. And that lady's crazy. And though, I did admonish her and tell her, we don't speak to people like that. That's ugly. That's not nice. Oh, there was a little part of me that was like, go baby, go. You're saying what I want to say. But that's not what I've taught my kids. I've taught my kids to teach everybody with love and compassion and patience and kindness, and that sometimes it can be really hard. Sometimes it can be really hard to continue turning the other cheek. Sometimes it can be really hard to keep absorbing stuff like that, hatefulness, and but it's important. It's very important, because I don't know what this woman was going through. I don't know how my, unkind words are going to affect her. And I can take what she was saying to me. It's not new to me. But maybe it would have been new to her to have somebody be very unpleasant with her and very unkind. And also, I'm teaching my kids, they're looking at me. I'm showing them when somebody is being unkind to you, you're not unkind back. And you don't use your fists. And if you can walk away, walk away. If not, then you use your words, and you use your words kindly, and you understand and recognize that your words have power. And just because somebody's being unkind to you doesn't mean you can be unkind to them. And so it gets really hard to bite back those comments sometimes, because guys, I'm telling you, I'm sassy. I have opinions, and I really, really wanted to go off on her, but yeah, anyway, so those are just like a few of the things. This sort of thing happens all the time. It's less so now because, one, I don't go out in public that much. I'm kind of shut in a little these days. There is more education out there, but I don't know. It doesn't happen as much, and I'm very glad for it, but it is something that still happens many times a year. People will ask me, there's no delicate way I could even say the question that people ask me, so I can't even put it on here. I guess no, I don't even know how I could possibly. It's very indelicate, and it's just not a question you ask people. And I'm shocked that there have been people that have asked me this question, and I've asked it in front of my husband and my kids, and I don't know. Anyway, sorry, this is not scripted. This is like very raw, off the cuff, just chatting with you guys. But yeah, so it's something that happens a lot. I, deal with people who don't want to touch me or have me touch them, or still look at me with the side eye of like, what are you? Or can you hurt me? And things like that. And, it makes me sad, but there's a lot more awareness being out there today, and I'm really glad for it. And hopefully this can bring awareness to, and if you know anybody who, could use this, share it out to them. Because, I'm just out here trying to live my life. And, we all are. So, I guess the important lessons here are to treat everybody with love and kindness, and to recognize that your words have power. To think before you speak. And I will tell you, I don't mind being asked questions. That I like. When I'm being stared down, I've had people trip and fall. I've had people run into things because they're so busy, like, staring at me. I would rather you come up and ask me. Because I don't find it, I know not everybody feels the same way. I personally don't feel, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me if somebody has a genuine question. It doesn't bother me. If your kids, now, I will say not everybody has the same response, but more often than not, if there's somebody out there who has a disability, who looks different or whatever, don't keep your kids from asking them questions. That is a disservice to your kid. I have had plenty of parents where their kids are curious. They want to know. Kids are very curious. They want to be educated. They want to know things. And, the parents are doing what they think is right, which is, no, we don't do that. Don't stare. And right, don't stare. But, we're not going to go ask those questions. And I get in today's environment, it is really hard to approach somebody and ask questions. I recognize that. But maybe you go ask that person, hey, my kid has questions. Would it be, I'm not trying to offend you, would it be appropriate? Would you be okay if my child asks some questions. 9 times out of 10, from all the people in my community, in the blind community, in the albinism community, in the disabled community, across the board, 99% of the time, everybody, like when we've had discourse about this, where we would like that. It's a way for your child to be educated in a real world setting. That's important. That's okay. Be respectful about it. But your child wanting to know why I look this way, that's okay. Because I look different. You know, I just do. And maybe you don't know the answer to the question. So get it from the horse's mouth, if you will. Why do I walk with a guide dog? Or why do I walk with a cane? Or, you know, that's okay to ask. That's important. So yeah, don't stare though. And I don't know. Oof, it's storming. My German Shepherd is terrified of storms. Oh, hold on. Well, that's a new one. I've never seen him bark at the rain before. Maybe somebody was walking. I don't know. But yeah, don't believe, you know, I guess another thing would be don't believe everything you see in the movies. Not everything on TV is real. Not everything has been vetted by people to be historically accurate or to be factually accurate. Not everything is. And you know, most of the times when albinos are portrayed in movies, it's very clearly not trying to be an educational thing, you know, but, just because you see it in one doesn't mean that that's accurate. And just because you've seen it 50 times doesn't mean that that's accurate. So do the research yourself. I don't know. I guess really that's it. I just wanted to put some of that out there. I'm sorry that this was so all over the place, kind of discombobulated. I didn't have any real plan. I just turned the camera on and started talking. So hopefully it all went well. And this is, you know, helpful or entertaining or educational in some sort of way or whatever. I don't know. But I love y'all. And I will talk to you guys later. Have a good one.